Hi, I'm Elaine Wood, and I'm the director of the Northwest Michigan Council of Governments, which is the home agency of Michigan Works. And I'm here to talk with you about the knowledge economy and what that really means for you as you prepare for a new job or a different kind of career. You know, one thing we know is that there's a lot about the knowledge economy that we aren't really sure of yet, and we are in a process of a major transformation in our economy. It's really not dissimilar to what happened when our nation switched over a course of time from being primarily based on farming and agriculture to being based on an industrial economy. And we know that we're going through a major transformation like that now, and it does affect us as individuals and all kinds of workplaces and our families. And as you're preparing for a job transition, these are some things that you need to know. So really, it's important to start with what the knowledge economy doesn't mean. It doesn't mean that everything is technology based necessarily, and it doesn't mean that there's a special class of workers who just are very high tech and that they are the knowledge economy. It does mean that technology is infused in everything we do now and in every kind of work. And if we don't have technology skills, we aren't employable any longer. And so that's probably easier for younger people than it is for older people like myself who have to make the transition to gain these technology skills. But it does mean that technology is infused in everything we do. It doesn't mean, though, that the knowledge economy is only about technology. It's about many other things besides technology. It really has to do with the educational levels and skill levels that are required now in all kinds of work. So those days where people used to be able to come out of high school with a high school diploma and go straight into a job where they could earn a very good living with good fringe benefits and work there their whole lives, those days are pretty much gone. Now everyone needs some kind of post-secondary education, and what we mean by post-secondary is post-high school. So a high school diploma is absolutely essential, but it's not enough any longer. Now what that doesn't mean that everybody needs to have a 4-year college degree, like a bachelor's degree or a liberal arts degree. It does mean everybody has to have, or most people have to have, something beyond high school. That could be a 2-year certificate. It could be an occupational certification or a license. It could be some kind of a specialty field where you get certain credentials that are required for that field. There are many, many different options. But the important thing to remember is that a high school education is no longer enough for most jobs and most careers. And so all these options are the things that need to be explored as you pursue a career plan. And it's especially important for people in 2 categories, I think. Young people who are currently still in elementary or high school and are looking ahead to planning their career, and then people who are kind of already caught in this economic transition that we're having into this knowledge economy. And we're talking about a transition that happens over a whole generation of time, 20, 30 years. So it's very gradual, and it's hard to see the details of what's happening when you're standing right in the middle of it. It'll be easier for us to look back 30 years from now and see that transition, but we're right in the middle of it right now. So for those of us who are in the middle of that transition, we have to be really carefully looking at our skills, our education, our credentials, and making sure that we're keeping up and continually upgrading our credentials and our skills so that we continue to be employable in this new economy or this knowledge economy. One other fallacy about the knowledge economy is that oftentimes people think it means that our economy is no longer creating products and that only service sector jobs will be left. No manufacturing and no creation of products. And that is false. In the knowledge economy, we will still be creating products as well as providing services. But the real difference is in the processes that are used to create those products and in the level of knowledge and skills that the workers need to create those products. And that's an important shift in our economy. So it's not that we're losing all of our manufacturing, it's that we're losing some, and the manufacturing that we retain in the United States will be at a much higher level of skill requirement than what we've had in the past. The other thing that's really changing, and I know all of you have heard on the news and everywhere you go about the global economy. And I can't stress enough how important it is that we now are functioning in a truly global economy. And so each of us is competing not just with people in our own country for work, but we're competing with people all over the world for work. And our businesses are competing globally as well. And this means that the levels of competence and skills and education and abilities is really increasing all the time, making our education much, much more important than it ever was before. And so that global effect, the knowledge economy is global, and that global effect really has a tremendous impact on each one of us as individuals and on our families, our children, and our economy as a nation as well. It also means that many other things have changed in terms of the way we do our work in every kind of field now. There's much, much more flexibility that's required of us. The pace of change has quickened tremendously, so we have to be able to switch gears very fast in every kind of work that's out there in our community. We also have to be able to apply our reading and our writing and our speaking skills on much higher levels than we ever had to before in many occupations. We have to be able to work as a team, and we have to be able to provide leadership, even if we are not a CEO or a manager or a supervisor or even a team leader. Everyone in the workplace now is required to be a leader of sorts and to be able to work in a team and to be able to manage processes and handle change. And those are very, very new things in many occupations. And so those are the kinds of skills and qualities that we need to have in the knowledge economy.